Okay, adjustants and operatives. Those who actually play Snowbreak, we all know that the game Snowbreak Containment Zone has been down for quite some time now, and we all been patiently trying to figure out what's going on. Um, Fortunately, I've been following chibi reviews for quite some time. I think it was during the time after Harley Kirk life has been ended, and I've been watching like other contents as well just to see other people's opinions in things that voice their own ideas and whatnot. But this is not here, neither here or there thing. This is more of me like I just cope with the things that I've been trying to follow from some quite some time. But right now he actually covered like Snowbreak, so we might as well check it out. It says radical feminist gets games get taken down. I think that was the controversy of something. It's like this is actually really insane. I really hate how people go after games that people don't like, even though they don't even play the game. Okay, so enough of me jibber jabbing. I let's hear his response.
There's a large radical feminist group trying to shut down the entire gacha game space, and you can kind of see the games that they are now trying to target after being successful with taking one game down. Because they've tasted blood in the water, they realize that they can take series offline, potentially cause them to go EOS, indefinite maintenance, and now because they feel like they have a sense of
Okay, now I understand. So they even though like I heard the game developers they mentioned this on Discord that they're gonna be down for it indefinitely. They don't know when they're gonna be coming back. They will reward us with something that how long they will be down from these type of hiatus for the things that is happening to us as gamers, as adjutants and operatives. So yeah, I'm looking at this list. It's like, holy damn, this is crazy. Blue Archive, I feel bad for people who play Blue Archive. Gray Raven, I think that's punishing. I seen that. Arc Knights. Really? Arc Knights? Arc Knights is a factory okay, it's a factory game, but at the same time, I know that they have girls that are actually attractive. I don't think I see any fan service in some way. That's my opinion. Because I play Enfield. Goddess of Victory, Goddess of Victory, yep, that's believable. Girls Frontline, I find that believable. Project Neural Clouds, don't know that one, but then yeah, true. Eternal Night Ascent, I haven't played that one. Cat City, haven't played that one. Girls Frontline 2, I've been playing Girls Frontline 2. If they're targeting that also, I'm gonna be so pissed, and I don't have much content to put out, even though I still want to put that up for there.
power. They're now targeting all these other different gotcha games that are very well known in the space. And I feel like it's my duty to talk about this because it's very important to shed light on the story that is escalating by the day, escalating by the hour, and it will affect a lot of people if more people
China, Chinese feminists. You can't make this shit up. Holy damn. I mean, though, I understand they exist, but they're growing? What the hell? Okay, yeah, that's really ridiculous. I mean, we already have censorship in Snowbreak already. We already have clouds. We already have more clothing fabric that's added onto our operatives, just so then that they don't show much more skin. But yet, that's not good enough for them. So yeah, I'm gonna say it. Fuck them. Fuck them. They deserve all the hate they get because of it. Like I don't care because you didn't even play the game. So why are you getting offended? You have your own stuff. We don't even care about it. We could laugh at the things that you guys come up with, the ideas that you do, but you come after us even though that we don't want to play some of the games that you make. No, screw off.
do not speak up about this situation, because what right now is happening is that yes, it's starting in the gotcha game space, but this can spread into the other forms of gaming spaces. For instance, all gaming spaces, if there is not people that actively talk about this and speak out against how bad this situation actually is.
Actually, it always has been. Um, Even like few years ago, it's because of I remember watching God of War Ragnarok. It was really, really bad. It's like some people think that, oh, it's really good. It's so narrative driven. Oh, it's so like the combat's so great. It's like, dude, have you seen the 2018 and combat system compared to Ragnarok? And then they're making up this logic that says, oh, that's Fimbulwinter. That's the idea of how the weapons and powers has weakened so much. It's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't really give a fuck. Because if it's got weakened, okay, I understand that. But don't you think that you could increase it even further? You could uh maximize your potential, like go over 100% just to do that. But they don't think that logic through. That's your problem. It's like, oh, you're still getting reduced by power. And like, oh yeah, Kratos is still strong regardless. Yeah, you're still doing narrative driven stuff. I don't like it. So I hate SBI. I'm glad they're gone. I'm glad that they will never come back. I think that they will have other companies, other narrative driven, I want to call them studios. Uh, yeah, let's just call them companies. They're like companies that try to implement some DI stuff into our games just so that we could play it and you will like it. Shove it into our mouths.
Is. So we need to get into how this all began in the first place and how we even got here right now. So a few days ago, there was an announcement that Snowbreak was going to be entering into indefinite maintenance. And it's been about 3 days since that happened, which is very unusual for instance.
Yeah, it's been so long. If they eventually come back out, I'll hope. I really hope that there's a lot of stuff that's been uncensored. It will still stay the same. Um, I think it was a mistake that they brought in English VAs into our game because they. I understand they want to grow as a company, as a game studio, but at the same time, you have to be careful who your targeted audience is because I know that there are people who listen to English VAs in anime, but when you have that happen, you will have other audience, and then that are actually tourists. They think they like anime, but they don't really like anime. They just like the anime that's how it happened currently. While other people like me have been watching anime since our childhood. Like, even beyond Pokemon, we have the original Dragon Ball. The perfect example of this I just mentioned is Dragon Ball. But people been watching like Dragon Ball Z. It's like, what the hell? You guys still talking about Dragon Ball Z? And then we had Dragon Ball Super, and you still call it Dragon Ball Z. It really frustrates me because Dragon Ball is a Dragon Ball franchise, but people still call it Z for some reason. So that's why I still think that those people are still tourists in some way. I think that those are just like exemptions for just that one anime. But it's another example. It's like One Piece, Netflix One Piece. Like, oh, more people starting watching One Piece, they're gonna watch the other anime as well. I don't think so. They don't really like the other anime. They just like the mainstream stuff, like that they see on Netflix, on Hulu, or Disney Plus. That's how anime became so many mainstream because there's nothing else to watch during that COVID era.
A gacha game, because obviously anyone that's ever played a gacha game knows you have to log in daily to do your dailies, do your certain quests. You get the point. And so when a gacha game is
Yeah,
offline for
pretty much.
multiple days, that is pretty eyebrow raising. It basically implies something serious is going on. And so I want to read this post to kind of give a nice little quick summary on the entire situation.
Okay, I'm glad that he's reading it because I was thinking that I should read it, but at least he's reading it. So I think he creates better context than I can. Or um explain it with better wording than I could do.
As a Snowbreak player in China, I want to explain to international players the circumstances that led to the cancellation of this Snowbreak collaboration. I want them to see the hypocrisy and the double standards of these women. After the official announcement of the offline collaboration, many feminist bloggers on Weibo immediately reposted the official post and called on others to report this event to get it canceled. That quickly.
Okay, I think this is not off topic. I remember one of the Chinese voice actor who voices Cherno or Marisol. Well, she was my very first character I pulled from her from from that banner. I'm really glad I got that character. I think she left because not just family reasons, but I think I don't want to spread rumors, but it's a hypothetically that she wants to focus on friends and family, and she doesn't want to be associated that she's part of the studio who does games for fan service stuff or way too much revealing girls skin for that sense. But she's not showing like skin reveal or body reveal in person. She's just doing the voices in some way. But I think I understand why she doesn't want to be associated for that type of reason. That's the speculation.
Spread in communities like Weibo and Xiaohongshu, where female users are the majority, and many feminists join the siege of Snowbreak. On Xiaohongshu and Weibo, many bloggers were teaching methods to report this offline event. This included making phone calls or writing denunciation letters to the collaboration partners. Here's one interesting phenomenon. When you open the profiles of many of these feminists who were calling to report Snowbreak, you find that them themselves play Otami games or love and deep space.
Deep fucking hypocrisy. You don't hate these people enough. Because when they go after your game, we don't get to have the fun, but they could have the things they have, but we don't report on them. That's the thing. You guys get to have as much fun as you want, but leave us alone on the games that we want to play. Like, I understand. Snowbreak, it was losing money at that time. That when it came out and it didn't have that much content. And then when they show like beach outfits or bikini outfits that they want to promote their game, they saw a huge spike and they know who their target audience is. So they double down on those type of audiences and keep them there. Now, that didn't really got me into playing this type of game. Not really, because I never said I was a gooner. I just like the game because I like to play the aesthetic of it. It's like I like to play the game style. Yeah, I understand that each chapter I played, there was more. It was more so kind of like a third person shooter that you get to shoot and you use your skills to play through your styles. I understand that you don't play the game in the sense of you're hiding, you're shooting, you're not playing like Metal Gear in some way, is what I'm saying. And then it started to become skill based and it started to become like more fan service thing. I've been I had said this before, like long time ago. I think I had to say it again. I think we do need more skins for our girls. I like more revealing outfits, but at the same time, I like the other aesthetics of the clothing that they make. So, and that means I want to have the double of both worlds in some way. Because like I seen the five girls we had before. It was Life, it was Benny, it was Yao, it was Marianne, and then we have Fredia. Those outfits look so it looks nice. It looks beautiful. I love to see those. And then when they see like more revealing outfits, I was like, yeah, I like it a lot so much also. But at the same time, I want to have both of those type of outfits of aesthetics. Now, it doesn't bother me that there's more revealing outfits. In fact, it feels like it's a free skin to me that that I can't even purchase myself. But regardless, I want to say that leave a like, leave a please subscribe to my channel. It will help me a lot. I do want to get the skins. I really do. I have not bought any skins at all. Ever. Only because I didn't have the income for it. So please do subscribe. Please do comment down below like what you guys think, because I do want to give you guys revealing outfits of what they sell. And also the bikini outfits, like the Fenny, Cirrus, Narita, Vidya, Akizia, those were very recent outfits that showed that girls were on vacation. I love them so much. I do disagree that the Fenny outfit, how do I say this? I think I didn't like her outfit is because of the color palette. It was just the color palette. It's not. It was not. It was never because of the skin revealing type. But yeah, I'm just saying from that nonsense. I'm not saying like I don't want skin revealing. I'm just saying the color palette does not match how I want to look at it. So that's I'm going off topic here. I'll let him keep speaking.
Under this pressure, on the 26th, China Post announced the suspension of the collaboration, and afterwards, Snowbreak's official account issued a notice
Wait,
canceling
what
the
was the
offline event.
collaboration?
On the 27th, news of the collaboration cancellation was reported on Oriental TV in China and Shanghai. That's a pretty big deal right there. It basically implies that on literal national TV within China, this was being reported on, and obviously it's escalated to such a level to where if anyone knows how the Chinese government is, that's not a good situation.
Oh my god. Wow. Even Tencent CCP is taking notice to this. Best case scenario, you might as well move your studio. I don't recommend moving to the US. I do not recommend it. The perfect example of this is Sony. Sony has become so saturated that it became so much narrative driven that it's not even a gaming studio anymore. Well, console studio, I don't even care at this point. I don't care. Like the games now look so retarded. Like God of War remakes, and then like you got the Ghost Son of Sparta. It's like is 2D. It's like what the hell? Why are you making this? Santa Monica Studio has no idea what they're doing at this point. Last of Us 2, there's too many remakes and remasters every freaking time for that. I hate it's not Insomnia. I think it was Naughty Dogs. It was Naughty Dogs. I hate Naughty Dogs how they do this. Log Horizon is also retarded. They keep on promoting Aloy every freaking time. And now we're getting Faye from the God of War series, even though she's not a God of War. And people were roasting this type of video game that was gonna come out. So yeah, I don't recommend Amazing Season moving to US. I think they should move to either South Korea or Japan. That's my only option. Maybe Taiwan. That's the only thing I could only think of.
Situation. The game is cooked. It's over. It's legitimately over if it's getting reported on national Chinese news. But let's continue reading. On the 28th, Snowbreak's China operations account made all the videos since October 2023, years of content obviously, private. At the same time, on China's TapTap platform, they began posting a large number of low-rating reviews, even though they haven't actually played the game at all. So, before I dissect
That's very scummy also. Because you in order to do the reviews, you have to play the game. But yet I think they found a loophole just to bypass it. They really need to get rid of that system.
this, I want to point out this big point right here that someone pointed out with Love and Deep Space. So these feminists that are trying to take down Snowbreak because it is a gooner game for guys, Love and Deep Space has something like this, which you might have heard about last year. A lot of content creators talked about this. I believe
I forgot about this game. I don't think I remembered this game at all.
Asmongold made a full-blown video, like a 20-30 minute video talking about this basically. But yes, this is legit. Love and Deep Space is the game that you probably heard last year that had a built-in period tracker for women, which is just wild, wild stuff, not gonna lie, straight up wild. Some might even say it's weird. But the point of the matter is, I've always said, regardless,
Yo, this is insane. It's like, yo, this is the new type of social credit score of this. Like, yo, Love and Deep Space period tracker. Just to track girls' periods. Like, social credit score increases so much because of this. Good job, game studio.
is that it technically has a right to exist. It's a game, it's art, you know, it's not real, so to speak, you know, it has a right to exist. And honestly, like women having like a gooner game, there's nothing wrong with that. If women want to play a gooner game that's sexualizing guys, completely fine. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
Yeah, I said this before. Don't if you go after our game, how come we don't go after your game? That's the thing. We don't talk about it. That's it's not our fault. It's your fault for bringing this up and this type of nonsense.
That is my hardline stance on that. But the thing here is that there is a lot of hypocrisy that the same group that obviously is gooning to this game is trying to shut down basically gotcha games are meant for guys for their type of gooner games, which is just, like I said, very hypocritical. And it's just like, oh my goodness, we really are in this type of situation where we've seen time and time again in the last, like, honestly, almost a decade at this point, to where, like, you always see the double standards where it's like, it's okay to sexualize a guy character. You can take off the shirt, you can show their abs and everything, they look all sweaty, completely fine. But soon as you have, like, let's say a little bit of, like, showing any form of the female body, instantly needs to be censored. It's, you know, misogynistic. It needs to be removed. It's problematic. And it's just like, dude, it's so fucking annoying. It legitimately is. And it's always from these type of groups, honestly. Legit. It always comes from these type of groups. And actually, there is something very relevant to this conversation, which I want to show right now. So this right here is a bit of news that came out earlier this morning, which, like I said, is very relevant to what I'm talking.
Stellar Blade is not a Gunnar game. Just because the game studio who made Goddess of Victory Nikke is a Gunnar game doesn't mean Stellar Blade is. They just made her very cute and very pretty. That does not make her a Gunnar game. They have outfits, sure, but it does not make it the focus of what it is. It's just a feature. That's how girls should look like. That's how girls want to be looked like. And Asmongold also said this correctly. If you create a girl who's really ugly and not really appealing to the audience, no one will ever play the game. Not even girls. Girls do not want to play as ugly chicks at all. Ever. And that's how game studios keep failing unless they get so much money from the console company like Sony just to do this in some way. I don't know. But at the same time, it doesn't really work because Sony promoted Concord, they promoted High Guard. I don't know about Marathon, but yeah, they're going down because they're not doing so well. But the IP of the certain games, yeah, they get a pass for some reason.
About. So this is PC Gamer talking about Resident Evil Requiem, and they literally say the first sexy Leon mod hits Nexus mods just 4 days, 11 hours, and 23 minutes after launch.
Why are people still using Nexus mod? The last video I thought about Nexus mod was Vera Dark, who reported on Final Fantasy VII on Tifa, who has her clothes censored to be less revealing, and her excuse is, oh, she's 15. How was that a problem before? How is it a problem now that it wasn't a problem from before? This is the problem of nitpicking characters, that they don't have nothing in their lives.
Literally, we're counting it by the minute. And this is the articles that, you know, Permaband actually posted showcasing the hypocrisy.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3. You could have so much stuff, you have intimacy in this. But for some reason, if it's only male dominated audience, yeah, that's a hell no to them. I say no, we should not do this. I don't agree to this, but then what happens if we do it to you? How do you feel back? How would you feel if we do that to your games? How do you think you will respond to this? Because you doing it to us, we get really pissed off at you, but then you think it's justified. Do you think that it's justified when we do it to you? I don't think so. I really don't think so. Enjoy the game how you want. Like, by the way, you even have a book, Mori Glory Milking Farm. You even have that. You have a bull who is your sexual fantasy, and that you want to fantasize this cow. That's it.
Of just this news site and the writers as well. For instance, Joshua Woolens, you can see, wrote both of these. They literally say Gunnar Game of the Year Stellar Blades mods are 41% smut, ensuring gamers will never see the light of heaven. And then you see the same writer that's, you know, shaming people for playing Stellar.
By the way, these people are not, video game characters are not real. And these type of same people promote PDF stuff. Literally. You don't hate these people enough.
Blade, saying Baldur's Gate 3's bare sex scene was such an upward turn of momentum for the game that its animator called his mom to show it off. She was like, that's weird. And obviously they're praising it, and they literally say should have pinned it to the fridge. It's legitimately just so hypocritical, and you can just see once again that it's not just these like radical feminists like within China that's doing what they're doing with Snowbreak, but it's literally just completely saturated in the entire gaming space, and it obviously is getting a lot worse. And it's very ironic that you see something like this happening with Resident Evil, literally what I'm talking about today with the Snowbreak news and how it's also being targeted for having, female fan service, despite the people that are trying to take it down completely fine with male fan service. But yeah, let's get a little bit back on topic to the situation at hand with Snowbreak. So right now, Snowbreak is in a pretty bad spot because obviously it has now been put on blast on live television within China.
Okay, so let me read this part. So far, there's no official statement saying that there's a maintenance due to the government action. Okay, it is possible. It is possible that they are behind the government action in some way, but that just caught my that's the thing that just caught my eye. That's all.
Which means that the game more or less is, I'm just gonna say it, it's fucked. Like, there's probably no saving the game because China does have issues with fan service. They do. I mean, literally, I made a video yesterday talking about the whole One Piece stuff. So it's very
Oh yeah, what's funny about the censorship in China is that they replace blood that's red and they turn it into white liquid. In other words, human male reproductive liquid. That's how I could say it. Like I'm not censoring myself. I'm just telling them what it is. I'll just call it. It's cum. It's semen. It's sperm. That's all it is.
obvious. And when it becomes such a high escalated issue to that degree, they can't really skirt around the issue. So the game, there's only two options available at this point. Either A, the game is going to just straight up end, EOS, that's it, or it's going to come back, going to be very heavily censored, and then it's going to die eventually because it's heavily censored and people don't want to deal with it no more, because obviously people play the game to...
Yeah, these are the two highly likely options that's gonna happen to Snowbreak. I mentioned this before. The third option is to move the game studio to somewhere else. You have to, because there's no other options you could put it on. I mentioned it has to be either in Japan or South Korea, but even then, they're not that much safe. They're a bit more safer than compared to going to US or in China.
Honestly, they play this gotcha game because they want to, look at the female characters and stuff. Just let's be blunt. So the point of the matter here is that the game will die. So that's basically it. Snowbreak is dead, and this group, this radical feminist group, was able to do that. And they're now, like I said, starting to target a bunch of other different stuff. For instance, like Girls Front Line, Nikkei and all that. And I'm hearing conflicting reports, by the way, that apparently Blue Archive is not being targeted because there was a translation issue. But from what I have been told, they are also...
Even though they're not being targeted, it could be part of their radar. It could be.
Targeting like Genshin Impact, for instance, or Hoyoverse games. They're trying to get those games hurt as well, which is a pretty big deal, which means that a lot of the big, massive, successful gotcha games are getting targeted by this group. And, I mean, they're already successful once. Who's to say they might not be another home run? They might not get another home run in one of these games. But it's a pretty big deal. This is really bad, honestly. And it's a wild situation that's getting very, very bad. And I do want to bring up something, though, that's very interesting to note. So, once again, this is another conflicting report I've been hearing back and forth, so I can't fully confirm this.
I have to say, I have to thank Chibi Reviews for pulling this up. I don't have Twitter. It's not that I don't want to use Twitter. It's just that I don't want to create another account. That's all. That's just on me. I don't want to create too many accounts just to report on stuff or anything that's really insane. I'm not like Hassan Piker, okay? I don't want to be Hassan Piker just to defamatory of each person to person, say radical things on the left. That's or I don't want to shock my dog. Okay, I don't want to be like him. So that's I'm giving you this analogies.
But apparently, the reason why this group went after Snowbreak is because there was apparently a scandal with like this novel. You can pause the video and look at this image here. But there was like a novel that had a lot of, let's just be honest, very questionable, taboo, dark topics in it, and it was apparently reaching like trending stage to where like it was getting talked about a lot. And so to shift
Wow.
the focus away from this very dark literature that apparently a bunch of feminists were reading, they decided to put the spotlight on Snowbreak, and then that's what led to the entire situation. Once again, I don't know if this is true or not. That's what I've been told that's kind of going on behind the scenes, so take this as you will, take this one with a grain of salt. But even if this is true or not, the point still stands that there is a lot of hypocrisy that, for instance, they're completely fine with a note to me game, but then they're going after Snowbreak. It's just like, dude, it's ridiculous. It actually is outright insane. And I would like to reinstate this once again. Obviously, right now, it's just Snowbreak. It's not other gacha games. But this can escalate. Like, let's think of collect.
Um, I just realized something. Is Brown Dust 2 being targeted also? Because I did not see Brown Dust 2, and that's like the most revealing stuff that you could show to players the game that they're playing. It's like I didn't really see that. That's kind of surprising. Maybe they're targeting that. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's crazy.
Collective Shout last year. Collective Shout is a very good example here, okay? Collective Shout, this Australian feminist group, managed to basically cripple Steam. They made Steam bend and buckle, and they contacted payment processors, and we saw the damage they did to gaming.
Yes, I heard about this
damaged
one.
right now. Like, so many developers and creators.
I didn't talk about that one because even though that was, I had thought process that I want to talk about it, but then I've been rambling way too much. So I appreciate that he brought that information about to this video.
Got completely fucked over by Collective Shout last year. So we've seen the damage that these groups can cause if they're just allowed to continue to roam free. So what starts off as one game that you might not care about eventually escalates. So that is why I'm bringing this to attention. It's important to talk about. It's important for more people to be aware of this. So I ask you guys that are watching this video to share this video, leave a like on this video, please leave a comment down below. It helps with the algorithm and more people to become aware of this situation, because this is a bad situation. But I love you guys. Be safe, stay healthy, have a very blessed day. Sorry for being the bearer of bad news, but once again, I need to...
I mean, I know I understand he has to be a bearer of bad news, but so do I, because I've been playing this game for quite some time, because I wasn't there from day one. I was there since Kaya and Echo came out. Like, I didn't do any gacha pulling on those two characters until later on. It was more so of I got Enya for free, and then I play Channel for free. And then I keep on rolling for other characters, and I've been collecting a lot of these operators. And Snowbreak. Snowbreak is one of the games that you have your characters upgrading as many times as possible. It shows like there's some sort of character development in some way. But at the same time, I noticed that there's stories of each chapter it's kind of retcon in some way. That didn't bother me too much, only because I was a tourist, I'll be honest. But at the same time, I didn't really read all the chapters. There was too much information. And then I started dedicating myself to doing more story chapters, story events that I had to upload on YouTube, just to show you guys the content I've been going on through this. And yeah, I've been kind of enjoying it. Sometimes it does get me tiring in some way, but then I want to let it be up there as long as possible, so then you guys could remember where these things has begun. But what other stuff? I haven't uploaded like other event videos because they're also too long. I didn't do the Coin Champ. I thought that I could do that for a live stream, but I can't do that with because I'm not my internet does not provide very good live stream, and it also costs a lot of money for that to happen. I wish I could do a collab with other Snowbreak players. I wouldn't mind because like if I do a collab with them on a live stream and then they could do like co-op stuff like we did that the other event is kind of like Fall Guys. It was the Fall Guys event. Like let's go Heimdall. It was left. Let's go Heimdall. It's something that we compete each other. There's do puzzles and there's even a shooting game, a simulation as well. I didn't do the tower defense game also for the video. I didn't think that there was much content for me to do. All you do is just go AFK and do nothing as well. Uh I'm getting off topic here in some way, but then I do enjoy the Snowbreak that what is given to us. But with any case, he's ending a video here. I'm ending the video here. So I do appreciate it if you guys leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe to this channel. It will help me a lot. I will still continue to do Snowbreak once it comes back. Okay, so regardless, I'll see you guys in the next video. You guys take care and try to play other games as well. Um, Play it to the fullest extent, whether it's Girls Frontline 2, whether it's Enfield, whether it's other games. So make it while it lasts. Okay, guys. So take care, everyone.